Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to welcome someone with over a decade of experience in leading engineering teams and building impactful software products from the ground up. He began his journey as a Java developer and gradually transitioned into leadership roles, working across sectors like telecom, health tech, gaming, and finance. Currently, Dionisis is a senior engineering manager at Snowplow, and he's passionate about not just about the technology behind products, but also about the people and building them. So welcome.
Hi, Ghazal. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I'm sure we'll have a great discussion today.
Of course, yeah. I guess first thing the listeners would probably love to know is a bit more about your background and how you got into tech as well.
Sure. So I studied electrical and software engineering back in the day, and then I pursued an MBA. And during this time, I had my first programming experience, which was a simulation in MATLAB in order to support my optics thesis. So it was more about physics and waves and how they behave in certain conditions. So that was my first programming lesson because I had to express my ideas in a way that I was not used to. And I realized that it's very important to be really accurate when you start programming. After that, I transitioned more to web programming, but I have to say that my first experience was a simulation.
Interesting. And how have you found the journey so far? I feel like you must have seen so many things change in the industry over the last couple of years.
Well, so many things changed in this particular area, not only in the last couple of years, but in general, things evolve very quickly. In the last couple of years, we have the extra uh, information coming from AI tools and
Yeah.
the way they are integrated in our day-to-day job. So there are so many things that I think that have changed. Starting with the way we produce algorithms, we are now able to just prompt a tool or maybe describe the problem and come up with a first approach. The same happens in the UI as well. So there are tools like V0 or other AI tools that you can use in order to come up with a prototype and see if your idea is correct or how it can be validated. And all these things accelerate the feedback you get when you have a new idea. You see how feasible it is, how fast it would take to implement it. But I would like to mention that I feel that the fundamentals are still very important. So I don't think that a
Yeah.
person with limited experience or with limited knowledge in the programming areas would feel really comfortable having a bunch of files coming from an AI tool and have to
Yeah.
integrate them into a code base. You have to understand things like architecture. You have to understand things like why you do things in a certain way, which principles you follow, why you prefer the one way over the other, what are the trade-offs, what are the advantages, and so on. So I think that even though things are evolving and will always evolve, it's really important to understand the core concepts and the fundamentals so that you are able to build and move that way. So in that sense, I would say that there is also another aspect that we have to take into account. In the last couple of years, we've seen that more and more people transition to cloud development. And this means that you have a different paradigm. You have to think in other terms regarding architecture, regarding security. And this is also important. Writing the code is important, of course, but the code, I would say, is the outcome of other thoughts that you have done before, and you are able to support why things should be implemented in a way or another.
100%. And like you say, it's impossible to have these conversations about the changes we've seen in AI over the last couple of years without changes in the industry without mentioning AI. I guess, like you said, is a lot of companies are using it differently. Some people are using it in the correct way, where they're using it to their benefit without fully relying on it. Whereas I've seen some cases where people have used it solely to like write code and things like that, and there's always been like security issues and things like that as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's something we always must have in mind when we build software. Security is a very important aspect and shouldn't be an afterthought. So I think that people who know very well uh, the tools they're using uh, are having a better time when using AI because they are able to validate and understand what AI proposes and how it can be integrated into the solution.
100%. And what sort of benefits do you see maybe implementing AI? I'm not sure in your day-to-day life or within the team. Have you seen any sort of benefits to the system?
Yeah, there are so many things that AI can help us with, and I've seen in Snowplow, not only my team, but also in other teams that we're collaborating with. So I'll start with the obvious ones, like if you integrate AI with your IDE, you are able to have suggestions on how you can implement your code faster, or even propose how you can build a function or whatever. But I think that's the tip of the iceberg because there are more
Yeah.
important aspects that AI can help you with. So I think what really helps us is being able to prototype faster
Hmm.
or being able to explore some ideas like would it make sense if we go that way and then you get an answer from the AI tool about the
Yeah.
trade-offs and what you'd get back or what the problem areas would be. And that's a lot faster than trying to validate things yourself. So I would say it's like having pair programming with AI. So you have
Yeah.
another person that you interact with and you get some feedback and makes you think in different ways. And that's certainly a multiplier.
And in terms of the future of tech, I know we've seen some changes happen. AI has caused quite a big turnaround for the way things are working as well. But if we're looking into the future in the next 5 years, do you see any other advancements happening in the space, or is there any technologies you anticipate are going to be much more popular?
Well, at the moment, everybody would bet on AI, but I think there's still some distance that the
Mm.
AI tools need to cover.
Yeah,
Specifically, what I have in mind is that the difficulties we've seen are mainly two kinds.
yeah,
One, the AI tools have a different level depending on the programming language you are trying to uh, to use. So for example, very popular languages are used better by AI tools because they have more input, so they're able to build something in a better way. Less popular programming languages do not reap the benefits of AI tools because the samples are fewer, so the output is not that great. That's one thing that I expect the AI tools to get better. And the second one is to be able to get the context and understand what we're really trying to achieve.
yeah.
Sometimes you need to iterate and try again and again until you get there. I think that in the next years, they'll be able to do that with only a few prompts.
Of as a hiring manager yourself, what sort of advice would you give younger generations looking to enter the industry, but maybe you're seeing like things like AI and worried that they might be taking jobs or making it harder for them to get into the right entry level roles? What sort of advice would you give as a hiring manager for that perspective?
Well, on the one hand, it's true that people with more experience can use AI tools in a better way. On the other hand, we cannot always rely on senior people to do all the things that a team needs to perform. And so I wouldn't worry so much if I was new in the software engineering field. I think that people should think in terms of any other discipline, which
Mhm.
means understand the core concepts, understand the architecture concepts, think in a way about what excites them and what makes them feel that they would like to work on day in, day out. And then there is also the human aspect. So I don't know many cases where a single person has come up with a new software program. So
Yeah.
software engineering is about collaborating with other people, being able to understand what they suggest, make trade-offs, being able to lead in some cases or understand what the team needs. So I think that also soft skills are very important, regardless of of the level of each person. It's very important to be able to understand how your organization works, how your team works, what they need, how you can help them. So I think that is what makes things interesting from my perspective. I mean, collaborating with different personalities, people from all over the world, that's something that you can't find in other professions, but you can find it in software engineering, and that's what is great about it.
Majority of the people I work with, like you said, you're working with very different cultures. You're working with people on a global scale, which is, when you think of it, really, really amazing, because you have this exposure to all these different cultures, different people, and it's not only enriching your day-to-day life and you're both learning off each other on the software engineering aspect, you're also developing these connections with people across.
Yeah, that's true, and I think that is what makes us richer at the end of the day. I'm really happy that I had the opportunity to meet people from all over the world who I would never met otherwise, and I think that's an extra an extra reason to work on this area.
And as a hiring manager as well, I'm sure you've seen there's been a recent change with people taking the less traditional route into tech, so coming more from boot camps and things like that. What is your thought process on that? Is that something you're quite open to when you're hiring for your team, or?
I mean, it depends.
Yeah,
I may be the hiring manager, but I'm not the only one who decides who gets hired and who doesn't. There are various criteria that a person should meet in order to get hired. Apparently, the programming level is one of them, but
yeah,
then there's also personality. There is
yeah,
also the eagerness to learn and to get
yeah.
better. So uh, I'm not sure that coding camps would be, something that I would vote against. It doesn't matter. It totally depends on the individual.
And I think it's really interesting to see people come from all these different backgrounds and moving into engineering, because they bring a fresh new perspective into the role, because they may have done a career switch or just initially are very skilled elsewhere and have learned it now as a software engineer. So it just brings a whole new perspective as well. From your side, Dionysus, is there anything else you wanted us to go through?
Well, nothing specific. I would like to thank you again for this opportunity to have this wonderful discussion. I just want to advise people who just start working on this area to don't be afraid, to be happy when they fail fast. This is a
Yeah.
way of learning, and don't hesitate to ask for help, and make sure that they're happy with what they're doing, and success will will be there at the end of the day.
That's amazing. And it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast as well.
Thank you so much, Ghazal.